Welcome to the Earth's most amazing and majestic natural wonder. From the ancient limestone pillars rising like sentinels in the Australian outback to mountains painted in impossible rainbows high in the Peruvian Andes. From frozen bubbles suspended in crystalline Canadian lakes to lightning bolts tearing through volcanic ash clouds. These destinations represent nature at its most creative, most powerful, and most awe-inspiring. These aren't just pretty pictures you scroll past on social media. These are real places where geology, chemistry, and pure natural force have collaborated over millennia to create landscapes that defy belief. Each location we'll visit today tells a story of ancient seas, of desert kingdoms, of indigenous wisdom, of volcanic fury, and of our planet's ever-changing face. These places have witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, inspired countless legends, and today stand as testaments to the raw, untamed beauty that still exists in our modern world. Before you embark on this adventure, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, as we are constantly discovering new amazing destinations to share with you. Check out the links in the video description below for deals on flights and accommodation, making this virtual tour your next real adventure. Now let's explore these most breathtaking natural wonders. The Pinnacles, Nambung National Park, Australia. The Pinnacles of Nambung National Park, located about 200 kilometers north of Perth in Western Australia, this extraordinary desert is home to thousands of limestone pillars rising dramatically from golden sands. Picture this: you're driving through typical Australian bushland, and suddenly, like something out of a science fiction movie, you're surrounded by a forest of stone. Some of these formations stand just a few centimeters tall, while others tower up to 3.5 meters high, creating an otherworldly landscape that stretches across the desert floor. Nambung National Park sits on the edge of the Indian Ocean, and this proximity to the sea is actually crucial to understanding how the Pinnacles came to be. The park covers approximately 17,487 hectares of coastal land, where desert meets ocean in spectacular fashion. The region experiences a Mediterranean climate with hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters, conditions that have played a vital role in shaping these remarkable formations over millennia. Now let's talk about the indigenous history here, because this land holds deep cultural significance. The Yuet people are the traditional custodians of this area, and they've lived in harmony with this landscape for tens of thousands of years. In their culture, the land tells stories of creation, survival, and connection to country. While specific Dreamtime stories about the Pinnacles aren't widely documented in public sources, the Yuet people understand this landscape through generations of knowledge passed down through oral traditions. For them, these limestone pillars aren't just geological curiosities, they're part of a living landscape with spiritual meaning. The European discovery of the Pinnacles is relatively recent in historical terms. Dutch sailors may have glimpsed the formations from their ships in the 1600s, but it wasn't until the 1960s that the Pinnacles became widely known to the general public. Before that, locals knew about them, but they remained largely undisturbed. The area was declared a national park in 1968, ensuring protection for these unique formations. Today, it's one of Western Australia's most visited natural attractions, drawing travelers from around the globe. So how did these incredible structures form? The story begins roughly 25,000 to 30,000 years ago, during a period when the sea level was much lower than today. The process is fascinating. It all started with seashells. Over thousands of years, shells accumulated in the area, breaking down to form a thick layer of shell-rich sand. As rainwater seeped through this sand, it dissolved the lime in the shells and carried it downward, where it reformed into limestone. Later, plants grew in the area, and their roots grew down through the limestone, creating weak points. When the climate became drier and the plants died off, wind erosion stripped away the surrounding sand, leaving these limestone pillars exposed, like sculptures carved by time itself. Walking among the Pinnacles, especially during sunrise or sunset when the light casts long shadows across the desert floor, is genuinely magical. The formations vary wildly in shape. Some are jagged and rough, others smooth and rounded. Some stand alone like lonely sentinels, while others cluster together like crowds frozen in time. The contrast between the pale limestone and the golden sand creates a color palette that photographers dream about. And here's something special. The experience changes throughout the day. Morning light makes the pillars glow warm gold, midday sun creates stark, dramatic shadows, and twilight bathes everything in purple and pink hues that seem almost unreal. The biodiversity here might surprise you too. Despite appearing barren, Nambung National Park supports diverse wildlife. Kangaroos and emus roam the area, and if you're lucky and patient, you might spot echidnas, honey possums, or any number of reptile species that call this place home. After the winter rains, the desert explodes with wildflowers, brilliant yellows, pinks, and purples carpeting the ground between the limestone giants. What makes the Pinnacles particularly special is their accessibility combined with their alien appearance. Unlike many natural wonders that require days of trekking to reach, the Pinnacles are just a few hours' drive from Perth, making them perfect for a day trip or weekend adventure. Yet despite this accessibility, standing among these formations still feels like stepping onto another planet. There's a silence here, a stillness that invites contemplation and wonder. The Pinnacles represent one of nature's most remarkable geological achievements, thousands of years of natural processes creating a landscape that continues to puzzle and inspire visitors. This is a place where ancient ocean life transformed into stone forests, where indigenous cultures recognized the land's spiritual significance, and where modern travelers can witness the incredible artistry of geological time. The combination of unique formations, rich cultural heritage, accessible location, and ever-changing light conditions makes the Pinnacles an absolute must-visit destination for anyone exploring Western Australia. Wadi Rum, Jordan. Welcome to Wadi Rum, Jordan's magnificent desert valley. Also known as the Valley of the Moon, Wadi Rum is a protected desert wilderness covering approximately 720 square kilometers of dramatic sandstone and granite rock formations, towering cliffs, and sweeping red sand dunes. This isn't just any desert. This is a landscape so stunning that filmmakers choose it to represent Mars and alien planets in blockbuster movies. Wadi Rum sits in southern Jordan, about 60 kilometers east of the port city of Aqaba and roughly 320 kilometers south of the capital, Amman. The valley runs roughly north to south along the eastern edge of the Great Rift Valley system. What makes Wadi Rum's geography particularly spectacular is the dramatic contrast between the flat desert floor and the massive rock mountains that rise abruptly from it. These towering formations, called jebels in Arabic, can reach heights of up to 1,750 meters, with Jebel Rum being the highest peak in the area. The rock here displays incredible colors, deep reds, burnt oranges, yellows, and even purple hues, especially stunning during sunrise and sunset when the low-angle light sets the entire landscape ablaze. Archaeological evidence suggests people have inhabited this region for at least 12,000 years. Ancient rock art and inscriptions found throughout the valley tell stories of these early inhabitants. The Thamudic people left behind petroglyphs depicting hunting scenes, animals, and human figures carved into rock faces. Later, the Nabateans, the same civilization that built the famous city of Petra, established a presence here, leaving behind temples, inscriptions, and evidence of water management systems that allowed them to thrive in this harsh environment. But Wadi Rum's most famous historical connection is undoubtedly with T.E. Lawrence, the British officer known as Lawrence of Arabia. During the Arab Revolt of 1917-918 against Ottoman rule, Lawrence used Wadi Rum as a base for operations. His vivid descriptions in 7 Pillars of Wisdom brought international attention to this remarkable landscape. Today, several locations in the desert bear names connected to him, including Lawrence's Spring, a water source he frequently mentioned in his writings. The Bedouin people, however, are the true heart and soul of Wadi Rum. For centuries, various Bedouin tribes have called this desert home, developing an intimate knowledge of its secrets, where to find water, how to navigate by stars and landmarks, which plants can be used for medicine or food. The Zalabia tribe, in particular, has strong historical ties to the region. Even today, many Bedouin families live in or around Wadi Rum, and they've become the primary guides and hosts for visitors, sharing their desert wisdom and legendary hospitality. Traditional Bedouin life revolved around camel herding and trading, moving seasonally to find grazing for their animals. Their black goat hair tents, called Beit Ash-Shar or House of Hair, were designed perfectly for desert conditions, providing shade in summer and warmth in winter. While modernization has changed some aspects of Bedouin life, many cultural traditions remain strong. Visitors to Wadi Rum can experience authentic Bedouin hospitality, sharing meals prepared underground in traditional zarb ovens, drinking sweet tea around campfires, and sleeping under some of the clearest, most star-filled skis on Earth. The preservation of Wadi Rum became official in 1998 when it was designated a protected area, and in 2011 it earned UNESCO World Heritage status, recognized for both its natural beauty and cultural significance. This protection ensures that future generations can experience the same awe-inspiring landscape that has captivated humans for millennia. The designation also supports local Bedouin communities by promoting sustainable tourism that respects both the environment and cultural heritage. Wadi Rum is far more than just a beautiful desert. It's a place where geology, human history, and living culture intertwine. The towering red rock formations tell stories spanning millions of years, while ancient petroglyphs and inscriptions reveal thousands of years of human presence. The Bedouin people continue their ancestral connection to this land while sharing it generously with visitors. Whether you're hiking through narrow canyons, climbing ancient rock faces, or simply sitting in silence watching the sunset paint the mountains in impossible colors, Wadi Rum offers experiences that touch something deep within us. This is a landscape that changes you, that reminds you of both the power of nature and the resilience of human cultures that have learned to not just survive, but thrive in extreme environments. Mountain, Vinicunca, Peru. Rainbow Mountain, known locally as Vinicunca or Montaña de Siete Colors, Mountain of Seven Colors. Imagine a mountain that looks like it's been painted with stripes of red, yellow, turquoise, lavender, and gold. That's exactly what Rainbow Mountain delivers, and trust me, no photograph truly captures the surreal beauty of standing before this natural wonder. Rainbow Mountain sits at a breathtaking elevation of approximately 5,200 meters, about 17,060 feet above sea level in the Cusco region of Peru, roughly 100 kilometers southeast of Cusco City. It's located within the Orsangate mountain range, which is part of the larger Andes mountain system. The mountain is positioned along the road to Orsangate, one of the most sacred peaks in Andean cosmology. This high-altitude location places Rainbow Mountain well above the tree line in the Puna ecological zone, characterized by grasslands, extreme weather conditions, and thin air that makes every breath a conscious effort. The surrounding landscape is equally dramatic. The area features several other peaks exceeding 6,000 meters, glaciers, though these are rapidly retreating due to climate change, and high-altitude valleys where hardy communities continue traditional ways of life. The Vinicunca river system drains this region, and the valleys below Rainbow Mountain support alpaca and llama herding, which has been the economic foundation here for centuries. The Quechua people, descendants of the great Inca Empire, have inhabited these highlands for hundreds of years, maintaining traditions, language, and spiritual practices that predate Spanish colonization. In Andean cosmology, mountains aren't just geological features, they're living entities called apis, powerful spirits that protect the land and people. Orsangate, the massive peak near Rainbow Mountain, is considered one of the most important apis in the entire Cusco region. For local communities, these mountains have always been sacred. Traditional offerings called despachos are still made to the mountain spirits, asking for protection, good harvests, and healthy livestock. The famous Coila Riti pilgrimage, one of the largest indigenous festivals in South America, takes place annually in this very region, where tens of thousands of pilgrims trek to high-altitude glaciers to honor the apis and Christ in a syncretic blend of Andean and Catholic traditions. Interestingly, Rainbow Mountain's fame as a tourist destination is remarkably recent. Until about 2013-2015, Vinicunca was virtually unknown to the outside world. Why? Because it was covered by snow and ice year-round. Climate change, specifically rising temperatures causing glacial retreat, revealed these spectacular colored layers that had been hidden for potentially thousands of years. Local farmers and herders knew the mountain was there, of course, but they had no idea of the rainbow colors hiding beneath the ice. Once revealed and shared on social media, Rainbow Mountain quickly became one of Peru's must-see destinations, with visitor numbers exploding from nearly zero to tens of thousands annually. The vibrant stripes are the result of different minerals being exposed at the surface due to tectonic activity, uplift, and erosion over millions of years. Each color tells part of the geological story. The red and pink hues come from iron oxide, essentially rust, particularly red sandstone and clays. The yellow tones are created by iron sulfide. The turquoise and green layers result from copper sulfide compounds and chlorite. The white streaks are primarily calcium carbonate or limestone. The dark purple and maroon shades come from a mixture of manganese and silica. The brown earth tones are from iron-rich sandstones mixed with mud. These layers were deposited during different geological periods under varying environmental conditions, some in ancient seas, others in river systems, some in mineral-rich groundwater. Tectonic forces associated with the ongoing collision between the Nazca and South American plates pushed these layers upward, tilting and folding them. Then erosion, primarily from wind, rain, and freeze-thaw cycles, stripped away the overlying material, exposing this geological rainbow at the surface. Visiting Rainbow Mountain is not for the faint of heart, literally, because the thin air at this altitude affects almost everyone. The most common route starts from Fulawasapata at about 4,300 meters elevation, then climbs roughly 900 meters over 6-7 kilometers. The trek typically takes 2-3 hours uphill and 1-2 hours back down. Altitude sickness is a real concern. Symptoms can include headache, nausea, dizziness, and shortness of breath. Proper acclimatization in Cusco for at least 2-3 days before attempting the trek is essential. Many tour operators offer coca tea and even supplemental oxygen for those struggling. The weather is highly variable and can change rapidly. Morning typically offers the clearest views, but afternoon storms are common, especially during the rainy season from November to March. The dry season from May to September provides more reliable weather, but also draws larger crowds. The best lighting for photography happens in early morning when the sun angle enhances the color contrasts. Rainbow Mountain represents a fascinating intersection of geology, climate change, indigenous culture, and modern tourism. The colored layers tell a geological story millions of years in the making, revealed only recently by retreating glaciers. The Quechua communities maintain spiritual connections to these mountains while adapting to new economic realities. This is nature's art gallery at the top of the world, where every color has a scientific explanation, but the overall effect seems almost magical, reminding us that our planet still holds surprises and that climate change can reveal beauty even as it causes concern. Frozen methane BUBBLES, Lake Abraham, Canada. Our next destination takes us to the frozen wilderness of Alberta, Canada, where winter transforms a massive reservoir into one of the most mesmerizing natural phenomena you'll ever witness. Frozen methane bubbles trapped beneath crystal-clear ice. Lake Abraham, located in the foothills of the Canadian Rockies, becomes a photographer's paradise and a scientific wonder every winter when temperatures plummet and these ethereal formations appear like frozen white flowers suspended in time. Lake Abraham isn't actually a natural lake. It's a man-made reservoir created in 1972 with the construction of the Bighorn Dam on the North Saskatchewan River. Located in west-central Alberta, approximately 90 kilometers southwest of Rocky Mountain House, the reservoir stretches about 53 kilometers long with a surface area of roughly 53 square kilometers when full. It sits at an elevation of about 1,150 meters, surrounded by rolling foothills and backed by the dramatic peaks of the Canadian Rockies to the west. The lake falls within the boundaries of the Bighorn Backcountry, a protected area that includes parts of the David Thompson Highway corridor. The region experiences a subarctic climate with long, harsh winters where temperatures regularly drop to -20 or 30 degrees Celsius, -4 to -22 Fahrenheit, sometimes even colder during cold snaps. These extreme temperatures are essential for creating the thick, clear ice that allows the methane bubble formations to be visible. During summer, the area is popular for camping, fishing, and water sports. But it's the winter season that has made Lake Abraham internationally famous. This region was traditionally the territory of several First Nations groups, including the Stoney Nakoda people, who lived, hunted, and traveled through these foothills and mountains for thousands of years before European contact. The North Saskatchewan River was an important route for indigenous peoples, and later for fur traders and explorers during the European colonization period. The construction of the Bighorn Dam in the early 1970s was part of Alberta's hydroelectric development program, designed to provide renewable energy to the growing province. The flooding of the valley created Lake Abraham, named after Silas Abraham, a member of the Stoney First Nation from the area. The white stacks and columns you see trapped in the ice are actually methane gas, and they come from a completely natural biological process happening at the bottom of the lake. Here's how it works. Organic matter, dead plants, leaves, animals, and other biological material accumulates on the lake bottom. Bacteria break down this organic matter in an environment with little or no oxygen, a process called anaerobic decomposition. One of the byproducts of this process is methane gas, CH4. The methane bubbles rise through the water column toward the surface. In summer, they simply escape into the atmosphere. But in winter, something magical happens. As the lake begins to freeze, usually starting in late November or early December, Bubbles that rise up get trapped when they hit the ice layer above them. As temperatures continue to drop and the ice thickens, more layers form and more bubbles get trapped. The result is these stunning vertical stacks of white bubbles frozen at different depths in remarkably clear ice, creating ethereal columns and mushroom-like formations that look like underwater gardens frozen in time. The clarity of the ice is crucial for this phenomenon to be visible. Lake Abraham's ice tends to be exceptionally clear because the lake freezes quickly during cold snaps, which creates fewer air pockets and impurities in the ice structure. Also, the reservoir is relatively deep, and the water tends to be calmer during freeze-up compared to shallower lakes, resulting in clearer ice. When you look down through the ice, you can often see bubbles frozen at various depths, some just beneath the surface, others meters below, creating a three-dimensional effect that's absolutely captivating. Photographing the frozen methane bubbles has become a bucket list activity for landscape photographers worldwide. The best time to visit is typically January through February, when the ice is thick and stable, usually at least 30–40 centimeters, and snow hasn't yet covered the surface. Fresh snowfall obscures the bubbles, but wind often clears sections of the lake, revealing the ice below. The low winter sun creates beautiful lighting, especially during golden hour, when warm light contrasts with the blue tones of the ice. Many photographers bring shovels to clear snow and reveal the bubble formations underneath. The frozen methane bubbles of Lake Abraham represent a unique intersection of geology, biology, chemistry, and physics, all coming together to create a winter spectacle that draws visitors from around the world. What we are witnessing is a natural biological process made visible by extreme cold and ice clarity. The man-made reservoir, created for hydroelectric power, inadvertently became home to one of Canada's most photographed natural phenomena. The experience combines adventure, venturing onto a frozen lake in harsh conditions, scientific wonder, understanding the processes creating the formations, and artistic beauty, the ethereal, abstract patterns formed by nature. Volcanic lightning. Volcanic lightning can occur anywhere there are explosive volcanic eruptions, but some locations have become particularly famous for this phenomenon. Iceland's Eyjafjallajökull eruption in 2010 produced spectacular volcanic lightning captured in photos that went viral worldwide. Chile's Calbuco volcano in 2015 created stunning nighttime displays. Japan's Sakurajima, one of the world's most active volcanoes, regularly produces small-scale volcanic lightning. Indonesia's Mount Kelot and Sinabung have both generated dramatic electrical activity during recent eruptions. And historically, the 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia, one of the most powerful eruptions in recorded history, reportedly produced continuous lightning storms within its massive eruption column. Volcanoes cluster along tectonic plate boundaries, particularly the Ring of Fire, a horseshoe-shaped zone around the Pacific Ocean basin where the Pacific Plate meets numerous other tectonic plates. This region accounts for about 75% of the world's volcanoes and 90% of Earth's earthquakes. Iceland sits on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, where the North American and Eurasian plates are pulling apart, creating volcanic activity. These geological settings create the conditions necessary for volcanism, and during explosive eruptions, the potential for volcanic lightning. The cultural and historical significance of volcanic lightning is profound, though often shrouded in mythology rather than scientific understanding. Ancient cultures witnessing volcanic eruptions with lightning naturally interpreted these events through their religious and mythological frameworks. For the Romans, volcanic eruptions were associated with Vulcan, the god of fire and forge, while electrical storms were the domain of Jupiter, king of the gods. When both occurred simultaneously, it must have seemed like a cosmic battle between deities. In Iceland, volcanoes and their associated phenomena feature prominently in Norse mythology and saga literature. Volcanic eruptions were sometimes interpreted as battles between fire giants, forces of chaos, and gods, forces of order. The ash, fire, and lightning would have reinforced these mythological narratives. In Japan, volcanic mountains are often considered sacred, dwelling places of kami, spirits, or gods in Shinto belief. Mount Fuji, though not known for frequent eruptions, is perhaps the most sacred mountain in Japan. When active volcanoes like Sakurajima produce lightning, it reinforces the awesome power associated with these sacred places. Historical eruptions with significant lightning activity left lasting impacts on communities. The 1815 Tambora eruption, which produced extraordinary volcanic lightning, was followed by the year without a summer in 1816, when global temperatures dropped due to volcanic ash in the atmosphere, causing crop failures and food shortages worldwide. While the lightning itself didn't cause these problems, it was part of an eruption so massive that it affected the entire planet's climate. For centuries, witnesses described seeing lightning in volcanic eruptions, but the phenomenon wasn't systematically studied until the late 20th and early 21st centuries, with the availability of high-speed cameras, sophisticated sensors, and the ability to safely document eruptions from various angles. Researchers have identified that there are actually different types of volcanic lightning occurring at different stages and locations within an eruption. So how does volcanic lightning actually form? The process is fundamentally different from regular thunderstorm lightning, though the basic principle of electrical charge separation applies to both. In a typical thunderstorm, lightning forms when ice particles and water droplets collide within clouds, transferring electrical charges and creating separation between positive and negative regions. When the electrical potential difference becomes great enough, lightning discharges to balance the charges. Volcanic lightning forms through several mechanisms. The most dramatic is plume lightning, which occurs high in the volcanic eruption column where ash and rock fragments collide violently. During explosive eruptions, the volcano ejects massive quantities of fragmented rock, ash, and gas at tremendous speeds, sometimes exceeding the speed of sound. These particles collide with each other millions upon millions of times as they're blasted upward. Each collision can transfer electrons between particles, similar to the static electricity you create when shuffling across carpet. The turbulent, chaotic conditions within the eruption column quickly create regions with different electrical charges. Volcanic ash particles can also become charged through a process called fractomission, where the intense stress of rock breaking releases electrons. Additionally, when volcanic materials fragment, some pieces may acquire positive charges while others become negative. The radioactive decay of certain elements in volcanic materials and the frictional charging caused by high-velocity particles moving through volcanic gases all contribute to charge separation. Once sufficient charge separation exists, the electrical potential overcomes the resistance of the air or ash-laden atmosphere, and an electrical discharge occurs, volcanic lightning. These bolts can be truly massive, sometimes several kilometers long, and incredibly powerful. The lightning appears particularly dramatic when it occurs at night or through dense ash clouds that block out the sun, creating darkness even during daytime. Volcanic lightning stands apart from our other destinations because it's not a place you can simply visit. It's an event, a moment when Earth's internal heat and pressure become so overwhelming that the planet literally tears itself open and expels its contents with such violence that the atmosphere itself becomes electrically charged. This phenomenon occurs at the intersection of geology, atmospheric physics, and extraordinary circumstances. It happens in various locations around the world wherever explosive volcanism occurs, from Iceland's glacial volcanoes to Indonesia's tropical peaks. Today, we understand the physics, but that knowledge doesn't diminish the awe. If anything, understanding the incredible energies and processes involved makes volcanic lightning even more impressive. This is Earth at its most dynamic, reminding us that our planet is alive, ever-changing, and capable of displays that leave us breathless with wonder and respect. Five of the most spectacular natural wonders our incredible planet has to offer. From the ancient limestone pillars rising from Australian deserts to the Technicolor mountains of Peru, from the red valleys where Arabian warriors once rode to the frozen bubble gardens of Canadian lakes, and finally to the raw, electrical fury of volcanic eruptions. Each of these places tells a unique story about the forces that shape our world. Each location also carries human stories. The Yuat people's ancient connection to Australian lands, the Bedouin who have navigated Wadi Rum's deserts for generations, the Quechua communities maintaining their traditions in the high Andes, the First Nations whose territories include Alberta's frozen lakes, and the countless communities living in the shadows of active volcanoes worldwide. These places aren't just pretty pictures, they're living landscapes where nature and human culture intertwine. So here's my question for you. Which of these destinations speaks to you most powerfully? Are you drawn to the ancient silence of limestone forests, the vast freedom of desert valleys, the physical challenge of high-altitude treks, the frozen artistry of winter lakes, or the explosive drama of volcanic storms? Drop your answer in the comments below. I genuinely want to know what calls to you and why. If you enjoyed this journey through Earth's most extraordinary natural wonders, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got so many more incredible destinations to explore together. Hidden waterfalls in Iceland, bioluminescent bays in Puerto Rico, ancient forests in Tasmania, and so much more. Every week, I'm bringing you new adventures, travel tips, cultural insights, and those special places that remind us why this planet is worth protecting. Share this video with that friend or family member who needs a little inspiration, who's been stuck in a rut, who keeps talking about traveling someday. Maybe this will be the nudge they need to finally book the ticket and chase their own adventure.